Yeah, get up now, come on now, get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now, let's go. Get up now, turn it up now. 1, 2, 3, let's get it now. It's time for mornings with Vernon.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now. It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now. It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now. It's time for mornings with. It's time for mornings with.
All right, good morning, good morning. It's time for morning with Vernon. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a little chilly out there this morning, y'all. It's a little chilly out there. It's actually, according to my mercury here, it's 31 degrees outside. And you know, it's freezing level at 32 degrees. So y'all make sure you be careful out there. And you know, you got this winter advisory. You know, if you don't like how the weather is today, y'all, just think about it for a minute. If you don't like the weather today, just wait. It'll change. It'll change on you in a heartbeat. Change on you in a heartbeat. Good morning. You got Morning with Vernon. Y'all hear my new? Here's my new audio. Here we go. Let's test it out again. Okay. Here we go.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now. It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, get up now. Get up now. Morning with Vernon. Good morning, everybody. Little cold, chilly morning out there. Y'all welcome to Morning with Vernon. Yes, sir. Today is Tuesday, y'all. Tuesday. All day long. Tuesday, y'all. All day long on Tuesday. It's a little chilly out there this morning. 31 degrees. We're going to talk about what you need to do about this cold weather a little bit later on in our report. You know, when we get around to the news and the weather and that kind of stuff. And we're going to tell you what you need to do and how to just hint around on some tips and safety stuff, how to manage during this cold snap. I just don't understand the weather forecast these days. It can be cold one day and warm the next day and foggy one day and rainy the next day. You know, you just have to stand by, and I guess that is the result of all this, what we call climate change. Yeah, it's climate change. All right, y'all, today is Tuesday. We got a good lineup for you today. We're going to talk about what's going on in and around your world. It sure is what's going on in and around your world. We're going to talk about what's going on in and around your community. We're going to talk about what's going on in and around your state. in and around the Gulf Coast, in and around Escambia County, and in the city of Pensacola, y'all. Check on some of the news headlines that trending today in the news. It's gonna be your job is to fact check me on some of it. A lot of the news, I'm just giving you the headlines. So however you get your original news source from, whether it's locally, whether it's Channel 3, or whether it's the Pensacola News Journal, or you get it online. But however you get your news story, okay? However you get your news story, okay? However you get your news story, make sure that you can follow up for the details, okay? Follow up with the details here, okay? Just follow up with the details every morning, okay? And so you can find out. I'm just gonna I just give you basically the what you call it, the headlines, if you will. I just give you the headlines of the news, but it's your job now. It's going to be your job to get the complete information as well, okay? Your job to get the complete information as well. All right, y'all. We're gonna probably go to a commercial break, and but when we come back from the commercial break, we're gonna get into things that's been happening in and around the world, okay? All right, y'all. We'll be right back. First of all, before you go, y'all make sure that you tell everybody that Vernon this morning is on, okay? Vernon in the morning is on, or Morning with Vernon, whatever you like to call it. You make sure you tell everybody there. All right, stand by. We'll be right back after these important messages, okay?
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Hey, Escambia. Today, we're talking trash, specifically bulk waste.
Starting July 1st, 2023, bulk waste service will be called for pickup. You can schedule a pickup by calling the ECUA Customer Service Department anytime before 2 p.m. on the day prior to your normal pickup day. Bulk pickup is still included at no additional charge.
Check out ecua.fl.gov for more information.
Know what to throw, 850.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is, with unity, we won't turn back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, Pen Air combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
The Service Center at Pete Moore Chevrolet can maintain the life of your vehicle regardless of make or model. Our certified factory-trained technicians have the expertise for domestic and import vehicles. And the Pete Moore Advantage provides you complimentary services whenever you stop by. Our Collision Center accepts all insurance, provides lifetime warranties on all workmanship and paint, and offers a deductible reimbursement program. So when you need service or repair, let the Pete Moore Service and Collision Center work for you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ford. I'm the owner of FD Builds. Energy efficiency is very important in today's market. With higher interest rates and rising costs, it's important that homebuyers maintain their bottom line of affordability. The nice thing about natural gas and natural gas appliances is that it's more energy efficient than their electrical counterparts, and at the end of the day, utility bills are lower. Our relationship with the Pensacola Energy team is phenomenal. From customer service to their field teams, it's just a seamless process. We love Pensacola Energy.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it up. It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it up.
All right, good morning. It's time for Vernon. Morning with Vernon this morning, y'all. Y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, sir. Today is Tuesday. A little chilly outside today, y'all. A little chilly outside today. I'll tell you the truth, y'all. Yes, sir. Speaking of a little chilly, well, I'm on that subject of chilliness, okay? We are going through a little cold snap here for a couple of days or so, okay? We got a little cold snap, so I want everybody to be very vigilantly of this cold snap. Do what you need to do during this cold snap. Just go out and make sure that people are safe. That's one of the main things that I have to tell you about. We're gonna have to make sure that your neighbors are safe and people that are unhoused are safe, and your pets are safe and your plants are safe. Make sure you bring in your pets and make sure you bring in your plants. If you should have did that already, and I know you will do that, but if you hadn't done it, you might want to go ahead and do it as well. It's 30 degrees as I speak. In fact, temperature obviously is dropping a little bit. When I got up this morning, the thermometer told me it was 32 degrees, and then I checked again, it was 31 degrees, and I'm checking now, it's 30 degrees. So apparently it's getting a little chilly, a little colder. So make sure you do that. Follow the advice, follow the weatherman's advice, follow everybody's advice on what you need to do. Like I said, check on your neighbors, check on your grandfather, your father, and your mother, and grandmama, and Pookie there, and all the cousins there. Make sure that they're safe. All right, during this weather, this cold weather, I need to offer you some safety tips as well, because generally with cold weather, we sometimes get a little careless as we go along, and people get put space heaters in the home to try to keep warm. I want you to make sure that you're very careful about those space heaters, okay? Those space heaters. Number one, what I need you to do for those space heaters, okay? Make sure that they are plugged directly into a wall socket. Do not plug in space heaters into an outlet, okay? Absolutely not. We have too many fires. We're going to talk about the fires in Escambia County and how many bulbs that we have put on the red bulbs that we put on the reef. But just make sure that you practice safe warming, if you will, okay? Safe warming. Do not leave that space heater too close to the curtains. Do not leave it too close to the bedding material. You don't want to cause any fires, and particularly do not overload your circuit on it. Okay, do not overload your circuit, because when you put it into an extension cord, it's that space heater try to put more current than the extension cord is rated for, and they get hot and it melts and it starts a fire. So you just definitely don't want to. You just don't want to do that. Okay, if you got gas heaters, be careful with the gas heaters. Make sure that you have your fire alarm working. Check the batteries in those fire alarms, okay, because it will save your lives. It can sniff out smoke or anything like that before you would know it. Okay, so make sure you check the batteries there. And not only that, if you got gas heaters and stuff like that, make sure that you get one of those carbon monoxide detectors. A carbon monoxide detector. Sometimes you can buy them built into one. Okay, you can buy them built into one as a fire detector, smoke detector, and a carbon monoxide detector built into one. But sometimes you got to buy two separate units. But whatever, they don't cost very much money. And if you can't afford to buy, call your local fire department. Okay. Call the local fire department. They generally would donate you a smoke detector, okay? And if you don't know how to change the batteries in them, if you hear that chirp, you know it's telling you time to change the batteries. So do not ignore that. Do not ignore that. So it is for your safety and your children's safety, as well as your neighbor's safety, because your house catch on fire, it's a chance that it might spread to your next door neighbor. It might not, but you got to make sure that you be careful in that arena. Water pipes, okay? And since we at the freezing level, okay, a couple things you can do with your water pipes, if you will. Some people like to leave a drip, you know, overnight. See, keep your pipes from freezing. Please do that. Now, one of the things you definitely want to do, okay, you definitely want to do outside of your house, there's a little junction box right near your house that runs from your water meter to your house, okay? And I'm not talking about the water meter itself, and you might want to cover that as well, but the junction box that run from your water meter from the street up to your house, where it distributed water into the house and into the water tank, stuff like that. Well, that little box there, you need to cover it up. You'll be surprised how a little bit of cover would keep it from freezing. You put a blanket, put a towel, or put something over that. You'll be surprised how it will prevent those pipes from busting. Okay. I had an incident one time, and I learned my lesson, but I learned it the hard way, y'all. I learned my lesson the hard way. And my pipe was on the opposite, my junction box was on the opposite side of the house. It burst, and water was going everywhere. And it had been going for hours, and I didn't realize when my neighbor got up and came to the door and said, "Look, you got water everywhere." I said, I had no idea, so I had to go and cut the water off and to repair those pipes. That's on you. That's not on ECUA. That is on you. So, but a little bit of preventive maintenance, y'all, will definitely go a long ways. Okay, in this cold weather. Okay. Also, while we're on the cold weather subject, for the people that unhoused or people that need shelter, shelters are open. The Waterfront Mission and all of the shelters around town. Just call if you don't know where the shelters are. Just call them. If you don't know any other number, just call 911 and tell them that you need to have shelter for the night for the weather. So all the cold weather shelters are now open. Okay, and then if you're unhoused or if you are living in one of those homeless camps, so you don't have to stay out in the elements. The shelters are open and they're willing to accept you. They got certain times that you can check in the evenings, and you have to check out sometime during the day, but they are open, and you definitely want to check it out. You want to do that. But again, in all, just make sure that you're safe. Bring in those pets. If you got pets out there, you're on the farm, you got horses and stuff like that. Don't leave these animals out in the cold. If you're a plant lover, make sure you bring your plants in, because certain plants does not like cold weather. Okay, does not like cold weather. Alrighty, y'all. Let's talk about some other stuff that in and around our community this morning. Okay. New Year's is right around the corner, y'all. New Year's is right around the corner. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and Thursday we will be embarking on a brand new year, 2026. 2026, y'all. And we always want to celebrate the new year coming in. I want to offer you some other safety tips as well, okay? Be cautious about how you bring in the new year, okay? And a lot of folks bring the new year in with alcohol. If that's what you do, fine, okay? No problem with that. But I got a couple of words of advice for you, okay? If you're going to drink alcohol, please drink alcohol responsibly, okay? As long as you're in the privacy of your own home, do what you need to do. Now, having said that, now, I'm not encouraging alcohol at all, but if you do enjoy the comfort of alcohol, we want you to drink responsibly. And also, if alcohol is an issue in your life, you need to manage it, okay? Please manage it, okay? If you can't control it, manage it. A lot of incidents, both criminal and domestic, in particular domestic issues, always surrounding alcohol use, okay? Always is an alcohol related incident. So again, you make sure that you drink responsibly if you're at home. If alcohol is an issue for you, if you can't, you know what my grandma used to always say, if you can't handle your alcohol, then maybe you want to back down a little bit of it, okay? Back off a little bit of it if you can't manage it, because it causes issues inside the home, and it causes issues domestically. We reported just yesterday on a story that happened over the weekend, which was a domestic alcohol-related incident over remote in a football game. Okay, the guy had been drinking. He'd been looking at football all day. His wife wanted to see something else, and an argument ensued. He ends up killing her, shooting his stepdaughter, and killing himself over a remote, and it all stemmed from alcohol use, okay? Alcohol-related incident. And again, when we talk about alcohol incidents, we want to talk about domestic incidents, okay? We cannot not mention mental health issues, okay? A lot of people, and this is the holidays too, a lot of people suffering from anxieties and mental issues. Manage that, okay? Talk to somebody, counsel that, because it is a real issue. It definitely is a real issue, okay? And so if you know you or your family members or anybody that dealing with those types of issues, help them get counseling, because mental issues and alcohol is not a good combination. I can tell you that right now. Not a good combination. They're both troubling even on their own, okay? But when you combine the two, it is more it is more troublesome, okay? It is more troublesome when you combine the two. So again, if you're facing those kinds of issues and it's coming up New Year's, you just be aware that and do what you need to do. Now, that if you're home. Certainly, if you're going to go out to celebrate, you got to be a lot more cautious. Law enforcement has also ramped up their law enforcement efforts during the holidays to catch impaired drivers for very good reasons, and for accidents and so forth. So please don't go out and get behind that steering wheel drinking or impaired with any type of drinking or drugs or so forth. Say, please do not do that, because if you get pulled over, you will go to jail, and the time, for alcohol related incident, boy, it's not worth it. Okay, your license at stake can get suspended, your license, your insurance gets suspended. It's just not worth it. If you are going to go out, if you are going to celebrate, and you are going to drink, make sure that you have arrangements. Maybe you have a designated driver. Maybe you call an Uber. Okay, maybe you call in your best friend. You call somebody if you are going to be drinking and celebrating the New Year. Everybody like to come in and celebrate New Year. All right, so make sure that is taken care of when you go out and start celebrating. Another a point of advice, two other things I want to mention while you're celebrating, because people like to celebrate it by noise. And what I say about noise is that either with fireworks or firearms, okay? Fireworks or firearms. You definitely need to be careful about the use of either one, and particularly firearms, okay? If you go out and start shooting up in the air and shooting up, celebrating the New Year in, I'm not quite sure how that tradition came about. I don't have to ask my good buddy Google on how that celebration coming in, the New Year's using fireworks and firearms. You got to be very careful about that. I was just reading and probably report among my reports this morning is going to be a guy was out target practicing one day in his backyard, and a stray bullet hit and killed a woman. Hit and killed a woman. So if you got fireworks or firearms, be very, very careful. I would leave the fireworks to the professionals, okay? And I'm not quite so sure how legal fireworks is in the state of Florida. Alabama a little more loose with it, and in particular maybe with the selling of fireworks. But there are certain rules in the state of Florida. We have a little more stricter rules of the use of fireworks in Florida than they do in Alabama. But again, I don't know what you can do and what you can't do. All I know, on the 4th of July and New Year's, you hear a lot of fireworks. And you got to be careful with fireworks, because it potentially could start a fire, okay? Start a fire. It maybe start a fire at your house, or maybe the emblems from it is maybe start another. You have to look at the weather. Make sure that you're not in an area where it's been particularly dry. So you certainly don't want to cause fireworks. So we reported the neighbors once time, they had a lot of fireworks that rained down on this man's brand new BMW and caused significant damage to the paint on his car, and that was a big brouhaha. But again, leave the fireworks to the professional. Now, having said all of that, and having said the fact that we are going to be celebrating the New Year's, and we definitely want to be celebrating it. If you want to go to New York and see the ball drop, if you want to go to New Orleans and see that New Year come in, you can do that. But you can't get there. Go downtown. Remember the days that we had the Pelican drop? And I don't know what happened to the Pelican drop, but last year this time, I know you don't remember, but last year this time, we was having some pretty cold weather, and in fact, later in the month of January, we had a significant amount of snow. Yeah, beautiful snow, deep snow, a lot of snow in Pensacola. So I don't think we're gonna be worried about that this year, but just be kind of careful. Now, how are we going to celebrate the New Year in Pensacola? Go downtown. They are going, and I was talking about fireworks. They are bringing fireworks back. They didn't have it last year because of the cold weather. But this year, they planning to bring the fireworks back to downtown Pensacola for New Year. So if you are excited about fireworks, like the 4th of July, go downtown. I don't know whether we're going to have the Pelican. We used to have the Pelican drop. People used to come far and near to see the Pelican drop. I don't think that's happening anymore, but hey, what can I say? But they are going to bring back the fireworks. So if you're going to be downtown, you want to celebrate downtown, and you let the professionals do the fireworks, you can go and enjoy with your friends, and perhaps if you're going to indulge in alcohol, just make sure that you're safe and have a safe way back home. Okay, if you're going to do that. Now, having said all of that about bringing in the New Year's, I know many of you gonna probably won't have New Year's resolutions. That's fine. So, but the problem with New Year resolution, they only last as long as we say them. Okay, but if you one of those people that maintain and keep your New Year resolution, well and fine. That's great. That's great. Let's turn a page. Since we're talking about cold weather brings on cold and flu. You gotta be very, very careful this year. We have a new flu strand going around, okay? And it is bad, okay? It is bad. It is so bad that I think up in Birmingham, up and around, it had taken the lives of a 12-year-old child, okay? Children are probably resilient and usually bounce back pretty good. But this strand of flu is the worst that they have seen in a long time. And they call it the subclad K, something like that. Subclad K, fact check me. But all we know is that this flu is deadly, okay? So if you don't feel good, you might want to check it. You might want to check it out, okay? You might want to go to your doctor and so forth, and make sure that you really take care of yourself, okay? And don't take the sniffles lightly, because if you do, it might be the very last thing that you do, okay? Also, let's turn another page. Santa Rosa Island Authority. If you love the beach, and many of us do love the beach, you love that beautiful white sand, and that's one of the beauties of Pensacola, is that we have this blue-green water and sugary white sand. So the Santa Rosa County Authority got a major construction project going on to try to restore the sands and stuff on the Pensacola beach. So I guess within the next month or two, couple of months or so, that project is going to be on way. If you might be a little bit inconvenienced, if you will, if you out there in the beach, okay, on the beach there. All right, turning another page. We were talking earlier about being safe. Driving incidents appears to be on the rise here in Pensacola every day since I started this show a couple of weeks ago. I am reporting somebody is a result of a fatal accident, okay, for one reason or another, okay. So I'm sad to report that again, one person has died in an incident on Blue Angel Parkway. You know that area past Softly Field, between Softly Field and Mobile Highway and I guess Softly Field Road and Mobile Highway. There's a little stretch there. I forgot the name of the other street there. The little curve you go around there. Apparently that is a pretty dangerous place. A lot of folks have died trying to negotiate that little curve. And so happens just the other day, a guy was in a pickup truck and he failed to negotiate that curve, and he succumbed to that accident. So be very careful if you are out there on Blue Angel Parkway. This is probably this within the last couple of weeks we have reported death there Blue Angel on Blue Angel Parkway there. As I've said earlier, the law enforcement agencies, they're out in full force now. They're not only are they stopping having roadblocks, but they're particularly checking for anybody that might be weaving or wobbling or whatever in the road. And you don't have to be drinking and do that, okay? You know, the cell phone contribute to a lot of careless driving, okay? You got to be careful with those cell phones. If you are out there and if you make one wobble, okay, you could get pulled over. And that's what happened to several incidents. This lady was same thing. She was, and perhaps she wasn't drinking, but she got pulled over because she was wobbling in the road. But good thing they pulled her over. When they pulled over, they found 20 grams of cocaine in her car. Okay, so if you don't want to be arrested, number one, please don't get out on the road with any alcohol use or drug use. If you do, you very well get caught, because there is a conscious effort on the law enforcement officers to start checking in Northwest Florida for impaired drivers. And not only that, if you know that you're not clean, okay, if you know you're not clean, just obey the law. Don't have any reason for them to pull you over, okay? Please don't have any reason for them to pull you over. There has also been reported that a 49-year-old man has been hospitalized as a result of jumping off of the Pensacola Bay Bridge, okay? So he had been hospitalized. He was in the water I understand he was in the water about some 40 minutes, and they broken his some bones as a result of, I'm assuming, jumping into the water. I'm not sure, but looked like he are going to survive it. But again, who knows the reasons for him jumping off? Again, mental issue reasons may be at play. So they're trying to investigate and determine what happens there. Okay, what happened there? Okay. Also, an 18-year-old boy, if you will, I call him a boy. That's what the white people do when they get their young people. They call them kids so they can minimize the impact on. But this 18-year-old man, he happened to be a black man, robbed a gas station, y'all. And so he been sentenced. I mean, he's been charged, not sentenced, but he's been charged for attempted robbery and attempted robbery. He tried to rob a gas station. I believe it was an Exxon gas station, and maybe a struggle ensued. Okay, a struggle ensued, and so he managed to get away, and but it wasn't long before law enforcement caught him, and he used K9 dogs. And folks, please tell these folks don't do that, because you can't get away. Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother is watching you. They got cameras everywhere. So you're not going to get away with it. You just have to stop and think about what you're going to do, okay? And why you're going to do it. If you intend to rob somebody, you got to stop the consequences. Am I going to get caught? Do people go into these situations thinking clear-headed that, well, if I rob somebody, is it worth it for me to go to jail over $20? Is it worth it to destroy my life over $20 because I need $20? No, and I don't know what goes on into these people's minds, but if you stop to think just 1 minute of the consequences, are you willing to pay the consequences? If $20 is worth going to jail for, so be it if that's you. But I don't think most folks think that they are going to be caught. All right, again, cold weather leads to fires, and we have had 9, I believe it's 9 fires in Escambia County since the holidays. Okay, we had one big fire that destroyed a mobile home very recently. I think it's over the weekend in Century, Florida. So that put the 9th red bulb on the Escambia County wreath fires during the holiday. So again and again and again, be very, very careful about that, okay? Around the state of Florida, they arrested a lady for committing, I guess, it depends on how you look at it. You cannot, it's against the law to assist anybody with suicide, okay? Suicide system is against the law. And not only could you be charged with assisting suicide, you can also be charged with murder, just as a caregiver, a lady was charged down in South Florida somewhere for killing her mama. Okay, her mother was like 96 years old and was suffering from all kinds of ailments, and she just wanted to go home. And in fact, she had requested legally to commit suicide. You know, it's against the law to commit suicide, and she was too weak to do it herself. But they refused her. And so her caretaker, which happened to be her daughter, ended up helping her mother to die, okay? Helping her mother to die by smothering the lady. And then she called the cops, and when they did the autopsy, they found out that because of the bruising or the swelling and the redness around the nose, they determined, in other words, that she didn't just die of natural causes. She was assisted by her daughter. Now her daughter is up for murder charge now. So that's a very moral issue that has to be sought out in this country, okay? Sought out in this country. And I don't really understand why not. People should have a right to die, just like you have a right to live. If you choose, this just is I'm getting into my opinion syndrome again, but in my opinion, if you choose to die, okay, it should be your right to choose to die. But in this country, suicide is against the law, okay? Suicide is against the law, and as crazy as it sounds, but you can still commit suicide legally, but you got to do it on your own, because when you commit suicide, then there's no way they can enforce it, the law, because you're dead and gone. But if anybody help you commit suicide, then they can face the music. But in my opinion, again, getting out of the fact check, I believe that we should have the right, that's just my opinion again, we should have a right to die. Many people suffer needlessly for a long time, and it causes financial hardship. It causes pain and agony. You can watch your family member die. They want to go, you want them to go, but you can't because of a stupid law saying that you do not have a right to take your own life. Okay? You do not have a right to take your own life. But on the other hand, a police officer can take a life at his will. But you can't take your own life, or you can't have anybody help you take your own life. But that's just a commentary by Vernon. Okay, but that's a whole new subject we'll talk about a little bit later. But again, it is an issue that you might want to you want to think about. Also, you getting rid of those Christmas decorations, getting rid of the Christmas trees, okay? And so make sure that call ECUA, okay, and find out what are the schedule, okay? They have, during the holidays, they might have some special schedule pickups and so forth. In my part of town, the scheduling is trash pickup is on a Thursday, which happen to be on the holidays. It happen to be Christmas and happen to be New Year, so they probably pick up the following day, or maybe pick up the previous day. But know what the schedule is, because you accumulated a lot more trash during the holidays than you normally would have created, and you just don't want to look very unsightly during the holidays. So know when your trash pickup is. Call ECUA and find out. I was hoping to have Gabe on this moment, but everybody's on the holiday. Gabe from ECUA was going to talk about. I was going to have him talk about what to do with those Christmas trees and how to do it. And ECUA will pick them up. Okay, you got to put them out on the side of the street. I was going to get the information and instructions on what you need to do with those Christmas trees. They will pick them up, and what they will do with them is to create, just put them into mulch, stuff like that. But make sure that all of the lights and all, and the bulbs and all that kind of stuff is off of the tree. They will not pick it up because they can't grind it up with all this extra stuff on it. So we will have, hopefully, we have somebody on ECUA to definitely talk about that. One of the things that you also want to consider is that during the holidays, if you depend on ECAT, okay, if you depend on ECAT for your transportation needs, okay, check their schedule, because they have a special holiday schedule that they're running, so but they won't return to the normal schedule until January the 2nd. So however you get around, check with ECUA. I reported, I believe it was last week or week before last, if you disabled, okay, if you're disabled and you need special pickup, they used to have a contractor that would work with ECUA to pick up disabled people and take them wherever they need to go. But I believe that ECAT is taking over that service now. So if you got any transportation needs or any special transportation need, just get a hold of the folks over at ECAT. And also, while I'm on that subject about ECAT, if you're unhoused or if you're homeless, you need a ride to the shelters, okay, I believe that ECAT will help you with that. So talk to the folks at ECAT if you need a ride to your shelters and everything. All right. Time for Mardi Gras, y'all. Parade time. We'll talk about Mardi Gras parades, and we're going to talk about MLK parades. This is what I call parade season. MLK parade, Mardi Gras parade, the Five Flag. All these parades are coming up, so just mark your calendars. Just mark your calendars for that. All right. Also, let's talk a little bit about some good news. Gas prices is down. Okay. And in fact, gas prices around the state of Florida is down about 3.1% around the state. But the good news, the better news is, that's good news. But the better news is it's 10.1% lower in Escambia County. Okay? No, I'm sorry, 10.2% lower in Escambia County. So we are paying much less money for gas than we was last year this time. Okay? Around the state of Florida, the average gas price is like $2.57, okay? That's the average price of them. But anyway, it can run as low as $2.29 in some areas of the state, or as high as $3.89 in some areas of the state. But the best news of all is that gas prices are down. Gas prices are down. Okay, very good. All right, one last thing I want to talk about is that you know that they got rid of the penny, okay? And And if you don't want any pennies, I'll collect them, okay? I collect pennies now, okay? I will give all of your pennies, and if you got one of those big old 5-gallon jugs where you've been saving these pennies, then let me know, okay? Let me know if you need to get rid of them. I'll be glad to come pick them up, okay? I'll be glad to come pick them up. But at any rate, I'm just teasing about that because I believe in superstition, okay? I'm just gonna just say this, but it works for me, okay? Every time I find a penny anywhere, it represents to me. My grandmother used to tell me, don't be walking over there. That's money. That's money coming to you. Every time I find a penny, I get unexpected money from somewhere. Every time it works. But what are you gonna do with pennies, okay? I would definitely save your pennies. Don't throw them away. Don't give them away. Hold on to your pennies, okay? Hold on to your pennies, okay? Because something's gonna happen. Maybe they're gonna melt them down and put them into something. Use the copper for something else. I don't know, but just hang on to those pennies. Now, you ask yourself, why did they get rid of the penny? Well, the reason they got rid of the penny is because they say that it takes a nickel to make a penny. Okay, it really doesn't quite cost a nickel to make a penny, but it was pretty close. It was around 3.7 cents to make one penny. Okay, 3.7 cents. Your president, your uninformed president, put some crap out there saying it cost $35 to make a penny, which is farther from true. But it did cost more to make a penny than what the penny is actually worth. Okay, so the statistics are, you can find out yourself, but the statistics are that it costs about 3.7 cents to make a one penny, and so that's the reason they got rid of the penny. So you're gonna start rounding up. Okay, they either gonna start rounding up your amounts or rounding down your amount. Any amount that's in, if you got $1.96, something like that, then they have to round it up to $1. If it's below that, then they have to round it down to, let's say, for 90 cents. Instead of charging you 90, if you got 94, 91, 92, 93, then they have to round it up to the nearest nickel, okay? Or then round it down to the nearest nickel, okay? So that's what you're looking forward to in the future, okay? If it's round up, if your cost is anywhere from 3 to 4, like that, then they round it up. But if they round it down, if it's like from 1 to 2 to 3, 6 cents, something like that, 6 cents, something like that, it get rounded down, if you know what I mean. So you ended up with a nickel. Now, I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go to a commercial break, and we come back. I was talking to a friend of mine over the weekend at the flea market, and we was talking about the penny and why they're getting rid of the penny. I never thought about this, but again, I don't know any truth to this, but it's these people opinions, okay? His opinion, which might want to think about it for a minute. His opinion was the reason they're getting rid of the penny is because Lincoln is on the penny, and Lincoln represent freeing the slaves, and his position on it, that this administration on anything, and this appears that way. I don't know whether it is that way or not, but it does appear that way. In all of the attacks is on diversity now, and his opinion was the reason they're getting rid of the penny because Lincoln is on that penny, and they want nothing to remind you of diversity and freeing of the slaves and so forth. And I was just reading again in the news overseas in one of those countries where black men died during World War II. They got memorials on it. They are removing fact check me on this, it's true, they are removing the plaques of black soldiers that gave their lives and are buried over in those foreign countries. Now I forgot which country it was, but that's just the way that they are thinking today. This attack on diversity is something I do not understand, but it is what it is. Elections has consequences, and election year is coming up. You can make a difference. You need to do what you need to do. You need to register to vote. If you don't like the way things are, you need to register to vote and have everybody vote and get people in that will represent your point of view. Okay, so people in now is representing their point of view, whether we like it or not. Those are results of the consequences. All right, y'all, I got to take a commercial break, but when I come back, we're going to talk about some more stuff. Okay, tell them Vernon Morning with Vernon. Vernon in the morning is on. We'll be right back.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out. It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email themlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
or surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right. Good morning. Morning with Vernon. Get up. Get up. You can get up. All right, y'all. Get up. Get your coffee. I had mine. I tell you the truth, y'all. I've always wasted my coffee. Yeah. Okay. All right, time for Vernon. Okay, come on now. All right, this is enough, Vernon. Oh, that's enough, my Lord, have mercy. All right, y'all. We're gonna have Jerry McIntosh is gonna be checking in, which is around 8 p.m. and usually around this time, we would have Shakita Payne from the ECUA and talk about ECUA jobs. If you want to find out about jobs, okay, any jobs, then you need to check out the ECUA website, okay? And the ECUA website, they got many jobs there. They're often, and these are well-paying jobs. And as I was saying before, these is not jobs. These are careers. Just go to ECUA website and go to the tab that says job, and you will look and you'll find there are many jobs available. And even if they're not in your field of work, you might, if they got applications there, you might want to put your interest in. And because if that particular job comes available, and then they will have your information already in the system, and it will notify you when the job opening is. So you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong at all, okay? Can't go wrong at all with that, okay? Remember that, okay? Can't go wrong. All right, y'all. Also, on yesterday, we usually have Claire Long on talking about jobs in this county, okay? In the county. And we're going to get Mrs. What's the name on from the city of Pensacola. I want to have her on, and she talks about the opportunities with the city of Pensacola if you are a contractor, okay, or if you want to do business with the city of Pensacola, doing business with the city of Pensacola. Speaking of that, I'm not sure whether the mayor is coming on this morning or not. I haven't been able. It's the holidays, and most of the office and the staffs are closed and so forth, and I don't know. I didn't hear back whether or not the mayor or either the associate city manager will call in this morning, but we'll be on standby just in case they do call in. Our Mayor D.C. Reed would give us the update on what's happening in the city. A lot of things going on in the city right now. They're going to reimagine Palafox. They got the project going over at the Baptist Hospital site. They got the over there where the pool is, over there they're doing that for the park. It's supposed to start sometime this year as well. The Hollis T. Williams Park project. A lot of activity, a lot of activities going on in the city of Pensacola, and it might affect you, and you might want to stay on top of everything that's going on in and around you. Let's talk about the MLK parade for a minute, okay? We need you to go ahead and get registered now for the MLK parade, okay? Please go ahead and get registered now for the MLK parade. And the reason being is that we got to know how many people are going to be participating in this year's parade. So now's the time to register. The parade is going to be January the 19th, okay? On January the 19th. And we're going to talk about that as we go along. But before I get into that, because it's always a long subject for me to talk about the MLK parade. Before I talk about that, let's talk about some other things that's happening coming up in the future. The Gospel Soul Bowl is coming up on Saturday, January the 4th, okay, on 2026, okay? January the 4th on 2026. You know, despite what this flyer said, I just realized what this flyer was saying here. The flyer is saying that it will be January 4th, 2025, and I'm always getting some bad information, folks. So don't send me information that's not accurate. Please, we need to double check it before you get it to me, before I can put it on the air and everything. But they are going to have. Come on, Vernon. That's where you are. Where are you, Mr. Watson? We need to have you on there instead of that man sitting in the bed talking about it's morning with Vernon. Yes, sir. But anyway, but we're talking about the Gospel Soul Bowl. The Gospel Soul Bowl. But rather than for me, just let me play the information for you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
It is predicted the 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater True Pines Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Humble Spirit. Dion Bell and the Brothers. And the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Thorn. The Wings of Faith. Divine Harmony. Saturday, January 3rd. The tour's open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Tillman. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell, sir. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuaders. Get those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop. The Original Kings Barbershop. Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. The Gospel Soul Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It is going to be January the 3rd. Okay, not January the 4th. Like this flyer, somebody sent me for the flyer, and what they sent me was last year's flyer, and it just had some bad information on it because it was talking about what was happening last year. So please, if you intend to go to the Gospel Soul Bowl, it's going to be on January the 3rd. Okay, on January the 3rd. I want to send a congratulations out, y'all, if you will. I want to send a congratulations out to Mr. Polion Williams. Okay, Mr. Polion Williams, y'all, has been selected and recognized by the 2025 Kwanzaa Committee, and they honored Polion this year in 2025 as the person of the year, if you will, for Kwanzaa. And I want to congratulate Mr. Polion. And if you know Polion, he's the music man, he's the drum man, he's the man. Polion's the man. Congratulations. He was honored on Sunday, December the 28th, 2025, and everything. And Kwanzaa, y'all. Kwanzaa we had Kwanzaa celebration on Sunday. Kwanzaa started on it starts the day after Christmas, y'all. It goes from the 26th to the 1st. And they got 7 principles of Kwanzaa that we want you to start practicing every year. Along with your Christmas celebration and everything, this is uniquely kind of a celebration to honor our culture, our African American culture, if you will. And it was a practice that started back in 1976 in Oakland, California. You know, I couldn't, for reasons unknown, other than I'm being an old man, I can't remember crap. But anyway, Dr. Karenga's out of Oakland, California. That's a little city I said right outside of San Francisco, with a lot of black folks in it. They call Oakland, California. But anyway, he's out of Oakland, and he created Kwanzaa. And excuse me for coughing. But teach your children about Kwanzaa, okay? Teach your children about Kwanzaa, okay? And so I think not only that, so we're not going to let you forget your black history either, okay? You're not going to let you forget your black history, because we're going to teach you about black history as well. But Kwanzaa, so we teach your children about Kwanzaa and practice those 7 principles of Kwanzaa, okay? And we'll talk a little more about it in the coming year, because we're going to talk black history, black culture, black stuff on this black channel throughout this year, okay? And so we got to learn, because since the attack is on diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay? Now we're back where we was 50 some years ago, 100 years ago, 70 years ago, that we are on our own. And we intend to educate our children and educate ourselves. That's something we're going to have to do. We can't depend on the man to do it for us, okay? Because they're getting rid of anything that mentioning equity, diversity, and inclusion. And there are some reasons for that. There's some reasons for that, that they do that. I can tell you what, I think I got Cliff on this morning. Let me see if I can find my good buddy Cliff. Let me Cliff, I got to, if you're listening to me, one of the things I have to do every morning is get connected to my account here, and once I get connected to my account, then we're going to be talking to Cliff over at the city of Pensacola this morning. He's going to be checking in, and then Jerry McIntosh will be checking in as well. And let me see if I can get Cliff on. Make sure it's going to tell me to grant permission. And I wanted, for some reason, I didn't automatically check that thing. It says grant permission. But anyway, let me see if I can get Cliff on this morning from the city of Pensacola. Cliff, are you on, Cliff? I can see you, but I cannot hear you. If you can go back in and if I can bring him back on. He'll check in just a minute again, okay? Clifton from the city of Pensacola will be on very, very shortly here. And it's my bad. I got so many things I try to do in the mornings, okay? So many things I try to do in the mornings. I forget to do some things, okay? I forget to do some things while I don't do others. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Black history. We're going to have Miss Richard on, okay? We're going to have Miss Richard on as well every Thursday, talking about Black history. Now I see Cliff. Let me see if his mic is off right now, but he is going to be checking in just a minute at around, what time is it? Around, it's not 8 o'clock time frame. You usually check in around 8 o'clock. Cliff, I see him already on this morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Cliff?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing well. I apologize. Sometimes when you get my age, when you're gonna get that one of these days, you're a young person. When you get my age, you're gonna forget a lot of things, and one of the things I got to get me. You was in the military like I was for many years, okay?
Yes,
And
sir.
Cliff, I tell you what, I've seen a lot of systems in my life, but the military has one of the best systems in the world. Okay, got one of the best systems in the world because they're required to do certain things. And among the things I learned when I was in the military is that you need a checklist on everything. So you don't forget anything. Okay, and so I'm gonna have to develop me a checklist. So I don't forget anything. Like I forgot to turn my Zoom on this morning, and I saw you come in there, but had to take another step here to click in there. Well, how you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing well. Now, you're absolutely right about that checklist. I think every morning I wake up, I do have a checklist. It's a mental checklist now, but it's no less. It's a checklist. I just got to go through that list in my head.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do too. But when at my age, I'm gonna need a physical. I'm gonna need a physical checklist. Yeah. What's going on in the city of Pensacola over the holidays here?
Oh my God, we had quite a bit going on. I think you might have heard about the drag queen show
Yeah,
that went on,
I
and
understand that was an overwhelming success. Am I correct?
I would characterize it as an overwhelming success. I mean, we the Pensacola Police Department, they were out, they were in full force. They did a great job managing every aspect of it. Execution, I would say, was flawless, and the people that were at the event, they felt safe. They enjoyed the event. So yeah, I would say it was an overall success. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm kind of glad that the city stuck to the guns on that because I read something on it not so long ago saying that it probably was one of the highest grossing events at the center there. So,
Yeah, I mean, you know what's interesting, I would say, is the fact that all the attention, as it started out negative attention, I think that had the opposite effect of garnering a lot of support, and yeah, it brought in a lot of revenue. Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
well, that's great. That's great. I don't know where you remember it, Clifford. You was here during this time, but but I ain't gonna get in that. Let's talk about the city because the whole different story that gives us going to the excuse me a different direction. But go ahead and tell me what else has been going on in the city over the holidays.
Well, of course, I love to talk about Baptists, but what I want to tell you about Baptists before we get into that was there was last week at some point I received a letter, and the letter came to us by way of another entity, right?
Hmm.
And the letter was from a former councilman. I don't know if you remember him, Councilman Townsend.
Yeah,
Uh,
Ron Townsend. I do
Ron
remember
Townsend.
Ron
Yes,
well.
sir. So I read his letter, and he expressed a lot of concerns about the demolition, all the negative press he's heard, and his letter was a little bit dated, so I don't know how it got to the other entity. But anyway, it arrived on my desk through email. I looked at the letter, I read it, and immediately I told the mayor, I said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to see." Former Councilman Townsend. So I decided to go to his house because there was no phone number on it. So I just out of the window, I went to his house. His daughter answered the door. She said, "Well, he's not doing well today, but I'm sure he'll be glad to see you." So and sure enough, he was glad to see me. I spent about 5 minutes with him. He's 92 years old, and I will tell you, the energy that came from him to me was overwhelming. And my point for going to see him was to let him know, one, we got his letter, and that I intend to come back and visit him after the holidays and sit with him with a team of folks to go over all the concerns that he have regarding the demolition of Baptist. One, I want to make sure he's informed, but I want to also make sure that we'll do this for any citizen in Pensacola if there's concerns about the demolition and how it's going to work. We're going to work with small groups. We're going to make sure people are informed. And as a matter of fact, I'm working out to kind of finalize a postcard here. I thought I had a copy of it on my desk, but I don't. But basically, it's a postcard, and this postcard is it's going to basically explain phase 1 through 3 of how this process is going to work, what's going to happen, the great length that the city will go through using two companies, North Star and Jacobs. And by the way, Jacobs engineering company has one of Pensacola's very own, Josh Wallace. I don't know if you know Josh. I think he used to be a point guard. He was here in high school and went and played for, I want to say it was Auburn. He played basketball in Auburn. Well, he's back home and he works for Jacobs. He is our intermediary between North Star. So when Josh and I get together, I'll say, Josh, I need this. Josh will work with North Star and make sure that happens. But anyway, right now, where we are again, I just want to make sure everybody understands one, for me, what the mayor North Star is, and his North Star is that I want to do what I told the people I will do. And I tell you, every day I go out and execute, my drive is to say, I want to do exactly what the mayor told the people he's going to do. So if I get something from a constituent, my direction to the team is let's huddle, let's talk about it. I want to make sure whatever we present is public facing and it represents the city of Pensacola the right way. So anyway, starting January next month, actually, that's a few days from now.
Sure is.
The team will get inside the Baptist Hospital. They don't have a permit yet, but they still have access to the building. They'll start looking internally in the building. And like I said last week, there's nothing that's going to happen external, nothing that's going to be blowing out within the first 4 months. They're going to be working strictly inside the building for the first 4 months. And then once we move from that next phase of from internal to external, that's when the postcard will be relevant to the community. And then we'll make sure that we go from door to door if we have to, because Josh and I spoke about it yesterday, that if we got to go door to door, we will. And that's our plan. Not only is our plan, it's our commitment to the people of Pensacola to make sure, one, that their voices was heard, but also that we're taking the appropriate action to make sure that they're informed.
Very good, Cliff. I'll tell you that that project has generated so much interest over the time, and I think because that's just been near and dear to the heart of that community over there, and they want to be vested into what's going on over there. And I think what I hear a lot, Cliff, is that they afraid that you're going to be gentrified, and I don't know all the politics behind all of that, but I think that's one of the major concerns what I hear all the time coming from the citizens that live over in that area there. So
Yeah, I will say that's a hot button item, especially as people express their concerns about gentrification and how it works. What I can tell you is our commitment is to um, bring in affordable, attainable housing, and that's market rate housing. So as we work at some point with a redevelopment team, which we don't have anybody right now, but as we work with a team to give us a design of what that place would look like, the next phase would be once we understand what that would look like. And again, once we get to at least getting a company in, our intent is to work closely with the community. And the benchmark for me is at a minimum, 40 different conversations with the community. That's a minimum. Now, I think it's
yeah,
going to be more than that. And they're going to probably have at least about 60, maybe even 70. But 70 different, let's just use 70 and say 70 different conversations with the people in that area and say, based off of what we assess, this is pretty much what we can do with this community. That's to ensure we bring in affordable, attainable housing that people can live in. And that's a big one, but we also got to remember we got the market value, we got inflation, we got other things that compounds this that makes it we can't build a house today that we built at the same price 20 years ago. And I think everybody understands that's basic economics. And so that's where the rub comes in at sometimes because you look at it and you say, well, I can't build a 1987 home in 2025. But I will tell you, we're trying to make sure that we can match this as close as we can so that people can have affordable and attainable housing. And that's our commitment to the people.
Yeah. A couple other projects. I know the Baptist Hospital is your project, but the reimagining Palafox and the Hollis T. Williams project. You got any updates? I know the Palafox thing is way on the way. What about the Hollis T. Williams? Are you familiar with the Hollis T. Williams? What's the status of that project?
I am familiar with it. It's come across my desk. I haven't dug into Hollis T. Williams yet as much as I have dug into Baptist and Palafox. What I can do though is next week. I think you will be on. Yeah, I'll call in next week, and I can talk to you about Hollis T. Williams at length. And here's my approach going into this is as I dig into any of these projects. One, I want to make sure that I understand where we are today, where we're going to go, and that I can explain that and articulate that to you and your listeners because it's important not only to me, but it's important to the people that they can hear it firsthand from off of my desk. I mean, right now,
Right.
Baptist is on my desk. I got an email, which is basically I'm looking at an article that's regarding Palafox and the reimagined Palafox and sort of the fact that the construction's starting. This is going to be a tough project. We got a short period of time for the company to deliver, but we got incentives as well, which we think, one, that's going to cut the time down because with these incentives, I think any company say if you finish if we give you 4 months to finish and you finish early, hey, you got an incentive to do it, you get a little extra cash. I think that helps out significantly. And that's a good return on investment for the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to share?
Let me look and see real quick here. What did I have? I told you about Josh. Um, yeah, I do want to just echo though that if any of your listeners or anybody in that community, if they want to sit down with us, my email's out on the internet. Send me an email. We'll be glad to do it. I'll be glad to come and meet with you. I'd love to meet you in person at some point. Sit
Okay.
down with
We
you
can
and we
do
can
that.
kind of talk about, how do we work throughout the year as far as getting information out. But what I'll have for you next time is I'll have more information on the Hollis T. Williams project. And then let me see what else did I have. Ah, um, Malcolm Young. Do you remember Malcolm Young project?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm getting up to speed on Malcolm Young, and like I said, I don't usually generally like to talk about projects, but Malcolm Young came across meaning projects that I'm not familiar with. Malcolm Young came across my desk yesterday, had a very lengthy meeting about Malcolm Young, and then I said, well, like I told you last week, if I'm hearing about it, I want to see it. So I drove by the site to kind of imagine what the place did look like back then, and so I think by next year we'll have a plan going forward with Malcolm Young, and we'll also start to socialize that out to the community to get some feedback. But I'm excited about what we can do for the future for the Malcolm Young area, that particular land over there.
Okay. Remind me, we can give me a call later on, and let's set up an appointment to chat and chew for a few minutes. Okay.
Oh, definitely. All right. I got your number here. I'll send you a text or something. It'll come from it'll be a city number. It'll be 850 number. So.
All right. That'll be great.
All
All right,
right, sir.
Cliff. Thank you. We appreciate you for coming on. Okay.
Yes, sir. Have a good morning.
All right. You too.
Happy
now.
New Year.
All right. Right. Bye bye. All right, y'all. That's Mr. Cliff Collins, the associate city administrator. And so the man you need to know, he's going to be on very often. He and the mayor on Tuesday at 8 a.m. to inform you on what's going on in the community. I got to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking to Mr. Jerry McIntosh. All right, stay tuned.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration. downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola. Live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Penair's high yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Penair Credit Union. Join us.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today, pensacolastate.edu.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it up.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Chilly out there this morning. It's temperature risen a little bit. It was 30 degrees, but according to my thermometer here, and then my mercury is saying it's 32 degrees, right at freezing. But we got Mr. Jerry McIntosh on this morning for the McIntosh Report. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Great. How you doing this morning, Bert?
I'm doing good. How were your holidays? Your Christmas?
It was nice.
A good thing you didn't go to Chicago, Jerry, for Christmas.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Is Santa Claus good to you?
Yeah, Santa Claus always good. I am Santa.
I know the feeling, Bubba. I know the feeling.
Yeah. I'm Santa Claus 365.
Yes, sir. I can. You know what you say in the back? I can dig it. I can dig it, my brother.
Yeah. You got to pay them bills 365. So that's Santa. Make somebody else rich.
All righty. What's going on in the world, Jerry? I tell you, this world is crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier with that crazy ass president we got. It's something else, Bubba.
Yeah, I was reading that they intend to close 15 field locations for Social Security to make it so chaotic that because they want to privatize it. We've been talking about this for a while, but now they're talking about really privatizing Social Security and give it to the Wall Street. That how many, it's a lot of trillions of dollars involved in that Social Security trust fund. So they want to give it to the people on Wall Street as if they can take care of money, you know. But they lose trillions, but then the government have to bail them out every so many years.
Absolutely.
So that let you know right there is no stability in that whatsoever. So it's gonna
None
take
whatsoever.
it's gonna
I don't understand it.
yeah. And I don't understand how anybody would want to risk those kind of resources, knowing that people are dependent on it uh, from every genre of race in this country, you know, and so in order to keep it sovereign. Well, people that was working here, we talked about that also. People that was working here were not benefiting from Social Security, was helping to keep Social Security sovereign in the country for those who are working and who benefit from Social Security. But right now, those individuals are being deported from this country, and the people who have worked hard and was benefiting from it might be in trouble
Right.
in the next 5 or 10 years. We won't see the benefit, we won't see the pain of it until some years down the road, but it's going to hurt us like mad because those people was helping to stabilize Social Security for those of us uh, who are drawing Social Security, and there's just a whole host of things that's because people, depend on it for their Medicare subsidy comes out of that.
Yeah.
Other things, people have their supplements. So it's just a whole host of things that people, and it keep people in housing, even where people go to the elderly homes. It keeps them, um, housing. It keep housing over their heads, or where they pay rent. It's just a whole host of things that Social Security cover for people that those who are trying to destroy it, they don't even think about or care, I guess, about the people who depend on Social Security. And some people, that's all the income they have, um, or all they have, period. Many times people don't even have money in the bank. They done already told you that. Some people can't even come up with much as 500 or
Right.
$5,000 if they need it. So Social Security is all they have, the only income they have. And if that's cut off, they are out of doors. So, and that means many, many, many elderly people, millions of elderly people would be, either have to live with family, or be out of housing, in other words.
But Jerry, that's how it's true that how the rich sort out of touch with the mainstream America because most Bernie Sanders had it right. Only the 3% of the people in this country got 97% of the wealth, but they only can identify what they can identify with. They identify with rich. They never had to do without. They only thing they have to do is write a check or get what they want or ask for what they want. They never had to work uh, from day to day for a job like we do, living paycheck to paycheck. So they don't have any idea about it. And the sad part about it is that we send people to Washington to represent our interests, and then they get bought out and get sucked into that same system on getting rich like the other folks get, and forget about the constituency that sent them there to protect them. So when are we going to wake up in America?
Well, it's just like healthcare. When you think about it, healthcare was based on discrimination. There are those who have written about it that said, they thought that if they cover 80% and leave that 20% donut hole, most Black people wouldn't be able to go to the hospital or be able to get the care that they need, so they would die off. But what they failed to realize that Black people has always been resilient and has always been able to use home remedies to stabilize themselves or to cure themselves as much as possible. And before we got into all these drugs, Black people was using stuff like Jensen weed and all kinds of stuff from nature that to break fevers and they use corn shucks to put just a whole host of things to heal ourselves from different viruses and all of that. But we've got each generation became more in tune with the drug manufacturers and what vaccines and all of that. And there's nothing wrong with none of that. We've got the habit of able to get it as much as possible. But there's a lot of home remedies that we can use as well to help us to stay healed. And vitamin C, vitamin D, and all that we used to get from being out in the sun. we don't in them cornfields, we were getting plenty of vitamin D and stuff of that nature.
Vitamin S too, that sun.
Sun, yeah. And there are health remedies from being, used to be where we used to go barefooted on the bare earth and all of that. There energy that was coming from the earth that we didn't know about that was helping us to be healthy because that's where we came from. So all of those things that we continue to need, we don't even think about anymore. And there's plenty of people on the social media, internet, and all that, giving you these different remedies that can help you, that will save your life many times if you can't afford the medicine and prescriptions and the drugs that they give you, ask you to take because it's unaffordable in
Yeah.
many instances.
Jerry,
So
you and I grew up very similarly. We grew up poor. We grew up on a farm, and then we
Mhm.
grew up in segregation, and where we had to
Yeah.
rely upon each other. And
Mhm.
so, and we got those home remedies. We couldn't afford health care. We couldn't afford to go to the doctor. And 9 times out of 10, we couldn't even go to the doctor, even if you could afford it. And so we had to rely upon ourselves. And Grandma had all kinds of remedies for every ailment. I know you had the shuck tea and you had all this crazy stuff, the remedies and the Vixas and the 366s and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff and so forth. But we survived. And you know what? We might have to go back to that same system. What do you think?
Right. I think you're right. I think many of us might have to go back because of the affordability of healthcare, and with the cutting of healthcare, the supplements that was supposed to have been in the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare Act, if you will. Uh, they haven't replaced that yet. You're talking about 20 to 30 million people that probably going to lose their insurance because it's unaffordable. But what most people realize, that's not the only thing that could be lost. Before the ACA, you could only, if you were sick, you could only buy a limited amount of insurance, and that cost you some kind of catastrophic amount of money that to even get insurance, especially if you have pre-existing condition. Most people don't realize that if you had
You had
insurance that
pre-existing conditions.
you
You were usually uninsurable.
right, and that changed under the Affordable Care Act. That insurance company had to insure you, that they had to give you health care if for under the subsidies that was provided by the federal government. even though many states rejected that, uh, but it still helped over 40 million people to come, to be able to survive because they didn't have to worry about going bankruptcy because they had health care. Then, they had taken health care off the credit deal where it won't apply to your credit anymore. Well, Trump then put that back on. They didn't put that back on
Wait a
that
minute, are you serious?
your credit can be charged if you go to the hospital and can't afford to pay your bills right away. They're gonna go
Affect
on
your
your
credit
credit.
again.
Hmm.
Biden did away with that, and
Yeah.
it relieved a lot of folks from some burden that had to remove all that stuff in their credit report because their
Hmm.
health care, because they couldn't pay the health care bill, affecting other things. Man, this is absolutely amazing. Where's this?
Right.
Wow.
And on top of that, if your credit is bad now, it's hard for you to get a job. And
I
that's
know. And
you know,
insurance.
yeah.
You get insurance, health insurance. Car insurance. They hold credit against you for car insurance, and a lot of things they hold your credit accountable for.
Right, which don't make any sense. It don't make sense whatsoever. But the greed merchants of this world, and especially this country, they have bought up the government. They bought the state legislative. They bought the congressional legislative parts of it. Also, the Senate and the White House. So lobbyists leave. I mean, congressional people and senators leave their seats when they say they are retired. They're not retiring. They're going to become lobbyists for these big corporations where they were making
Right.
$165,000, $170,000 a year, which is quite a bit of money, And for anybody else, it's a huge amount of money. But the thing about it, they are leaving those positions and going and getting even richer, where they were making 100 some thousand dollars a year, 170, almost 200,000. Now they're making $2-3 million a year,
Right.
but they done already left rich. They go to Congress poor and broke and come out rich. So they let you know that something is wrong with the system. That I guess there's nothing wrong with it because it's working the way it's supposed to work, I guess, according to them.
Yeah, according to them. And the other sad commentary is that they can go in Congress for 5 years. Whatever job you be on for 5 years and get permanent benefits from, retirement
Right,
after 5 years. Come on now.
right, exactly. And you get all your benefits, yeah. You vested in everything after 5 years. And and that's unfortunate because people realize and this is why it's so easy to buy out uh, people who's supposed to be representing you,
Right.
the representatives, because they know that if they stay 5 years, they don't care if they lose after that. If I lose, I'm set for life. And if I lose, I can go and lobby for a big corporation. You know, 2 to 3 years. If you're in Congress, you can become a lobbyist and make quadruple the money that you were making as a congressional representative. And even in state legislators are making buku money working for state corporations, uh, where they help write the legislation for those companies to get what they need because they know the law and they've been there long enough to understand the law. And then these big corporations got lawyers they own all kinds of lawyers to protect their legislative prowesses, I would say. you know.
If only people knew how the system worked, the political system worked, they would be really disenfranchised because the big companies, they write the law and then they
Mhm.
present it. The lobbyists present it to Congress. They accept it. Because many times when those congressmen and senators vote on those bills, they don't even know what's in the bill. They just
Right,
they
right.
just get paid off to pass the bill. That our
Exactly.
system is broken, Jerry.
Yeah, and the people that work for these congressional people and senators and all of that, they're the one kind of read the legislation. They pick out different points and see if if it'll fly or not. And on both sides, they are working uh, to satisfy a certain constituency, and that certain constituency is corporate America. It's not the American people who vote them in, who many times never come back to the district to discuss those issues,
Right.
because they are so tied up in so much legislation that these companies are putting forth to them. And then you got these lobbyists that's pressuring them day in and day out, and then all this money that's flown into their districts, uh, to to either get them reelected or to get somebody to run against a primary them. So they are on. One of the things I was reading, one congressional brother said he was so busy raising funds, to try to, because he said once you elected, you got to try to raise all these funds for the next election. It's not like you're gonna go there and do legislation and then not raise funds at the same time that you're trying to do legislation. And then it's bills that you will vote for or against that can cause you to lose an election. It was just a whole host of things that he talked about. And he said once he was out of it, he said that was the best thing that ever happened to him. He realized that the pressure of that, he said you're in a pressure cooker all the time, where people are pulling at you, just from every direction, and you sometimes you get, you just want to just say, hey, forget it. And he said it was legislation that he voted on that caused him to get primary, and he lost his election because of it, because he would refuse. He wasn't going to give up his dignity and his soul for $1. And so he was primary by different groups to make sure that he was out. Same thing with the sister in St. Louis. What happened to her? So the legislation they vote for can either be in the that's good for them and detrimental to the people, or it can be detrimental to them depending on how they vote, whether they'll get elected or not. So if people only knew, and this is the thing about it, they don't want you to know. And they don't want the legislators to have time to go back to their community to even talk about it, especially in the Black community, the Black legislators. We often talk about them not coming back to the community and using the knowledge that they have and the bills that are coming before them, because they got to vote just about every day on something, either for or against it, that's not in the interest of their constituency.
Yeah, Jerry, I tell you, it's absolutely amazing how this system works, and I guess you think about it for a minute. There's always a method behind their madness. I always
Mhm.
wondered, why are they taking civics out of school? Okay, well that's the reason. They don't want you to know. They want to keep you ignorant on how the system works, and so
Mhm.
maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. They don't want you to know how the system works. You remember that? It used to, I forgot what that thing was. Used to come on TV and tell you how a
Just a
bill is
bill,
passed
I'm a
and all.
bill, and just a bill.
Yeah, yeah. That was educating people. That was it, not only educating children, but it was educating adults as well. It was educating everybody. So they shut that down. And but
They
like you said,
absolutely did.
civics was something that we had to learn in school. You had to learn about the Constitution. You had to learn about the Bill of Rights. All of those things that protected the country,
Yeah.
even though it didn't protect Black people all that much, but it did protect democracy, where you would have a voice in that democracy somewhat. As long as you didn't speak too loud, they blow your brains out, for doing it. Just ask Malcolm, Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King, and many others. But the thing about it, people were willing to use the democracy to free our people and put everything on the line to do it.
Yeah.
Because we had a right to speak. And that's the power of the First Amendment. And most people don't realize the First Amendment is the most powerful amendment, because everything else hinged on that First Amendment. Without the First Amendment, you don't have the Second Amendment or none of the other amendments to go by, because of that. The freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, the freedom of the press. And most people don't realize the press is the fourth estate, which is supposed to keep everybody else in check. The president, the Senate, the Congress, the State House, they were supposed to be reporting to the people based on the facts that they know to the people, so that people will have an understanding of how government works, what bills are being passed, what shouldn't be passed, what's good for the country and what's not good for the country. And people were supposed to take from that, and decipher whether they want to deal with those issues or not. But the Walter Cronkrights and all that of the world are gone now. Who used to?
Hey, Jerry, we're going to have to take a commercial break. But I want you to think about this, and we're going to talk about it on the other side of the break, is that the fact that the Trump administration bombed Nigeria, and also in the news that they're taking the plaques off of where Black men died over in overseas countries and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about that when we return. So, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with Vernon this morning, and we're going to be talking with Mr. Jerry McIntosh about the ills of the world. Okay, stay tuned.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up. As predicted, the 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul, Gospel Soul. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater Coupon Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Humble Spirit. Dion Bell and the Brother. And the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Floor. The Wings of Faith, Divine Harmony, Saturday, January 3rd. The tours open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Kim. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell, sir. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuader. Get those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop, the original King's Barbershop. Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. The Gospel Soul Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Good Morning with Vernon this morning. I got my host on my Tuesday, Thursday host is Mr. Jerry McIntosh, and we are talking about the issues around the world, political issues, and so forth. And so before we went on break, we was discussing some issues that's important to us, but what we wanted to talk about on this side of it is that the Trump administration has decided to bomb Nigeria, and I want to talk to Jerry about whether or not that's a false flag or not. And then also we're going to talk about the issue of countries that black people fought and died in and was buried in and honored in these foreign countries. Now their names are being taken off plaques that will honor their service in those overseas environment. Jerry, let's talk about the Nigerian situation, if you will. Is that a false flag or what?
Well, the president of Nigeria coordinated with the American military to go against ISIS, because ISIS is killing both Muslim and Christian. They don't care who they kill, and women and children. They don't care who they kill. But by the same token, America playing it up like like it was just for they are saving Christians, fighting for Christians over there, and the Nigerian government is saying no, that wasn't the reason. The reason was they wanted to, ISIS was just blowing up stuff over there, disrupting the economy and everything else of Nigeria, and trying to turn it into an Islamic state where women have no rights, and it's become mostly a dictatorial process, or what you call it, what they call I don't forgot the name of it anyway. But anyway, it's they wanted to become an Islamic state, and where both Christian and Muslims that don't agree with them, they kill. And ISIS is Islamic, but they kill Islamic people. But America they are spinning it like it's against Christians only, and which could disrupt the whole of Nigeria. And I'm skeptical about anytime America go into some place like that and you let them in, and what that guy says there, every time you let them in, you're never going to get them out. They are there forever. We never have left any of those like Baghdad and all that. We've never left those countries over there. So we are still there. We're, and disrupting whatever we want to do by taking the resources and stripping them of their people of the resources. So the super rich will get even super richer. So by the same token, I'm very skeptical about them going in there. And I'm skeptical about the Nigerian government working with them. And they might have a good reason to do it. And I guess if you're trying to stop people from killing your people, I guess that is a good reason. But you got to figure out then what is the reason behind all that in the first place. What is liking with these individuals that they are not getting that make them want to go to war against their own government or people in the government. So that's something that need to be hashed out, I guess, among the Nigerian people, not bringing in foreign governments, because once that happens, you begin to see colonization again over there, and sometime I'm wondering, is this a pretense to go into Burkina Faso, Mali, Namibia, and all of those countries to try to get those resources back for France and Europe and all of that. So even though we got all this powerful military, they're saying you can come here, but you won't last on the ground. You can blow us away, but you won't last on the ground here. So that's the thing about it. It's just so much going on in that part of the world, and it seems like the younger people are beginning to rise up and say enough is enough. We don't want these corrupt leadership that has been nothing but puppets of foreign governments, and they are kicking them out, and they are taking over, and which is long overdue for the young people to have their voices heard, rather than being indoctrinated by Western powers, so that the people will continue to be destitute, homeless, poor, sick, and unable to feed themselves. And that's one of the things I like about Ibrahim Traore, is that he's saying, people can't feed themselves, can't run a country. They are unable to run the country. If they don't have hospitals to heal themselves, they are unable to be free. You're a slave still to someone else. So a lot of the soldiers that was, out fighting are now farmers. They are doing the farm work. They are building these dams to get water to the farmland. Just a whole host of things, highways for transportation. That he done built. And the thing about it, in the last 3 years, he done built more highways over there than they done built since the inception of the country that's supposed to have been free in the 60s. And so that show you how real leadership work. China is showing us real leadership, even though there are people, many of them are oppressed over there. And then there are people who are Muslim in China, who is, they call, I think, Uyghurs, but they are in concentration camps. So the countries are not totally, a country like China is not totally free because they got slaves, in other words. But their ingenuity and their ability to get their people back and forth across China with high-speed rails, all of that we should have had years ago, especially here in Florida and in the southern parts of the country, to get people away from hurricanes and disasters and floods and all of that. High-speed rail can help get many of those people out, because when you get trapped on the road, you could be trapped for days or be caught up in a hurricane or floods and all of that. So when President Obama offered Florida those billions of dollars to start the high-speed rail. Scott, who was the governor then, turned it down because he didn't want it to come from a black man. That was the dumbest thing that I ever heard in my life.
I know.
But yeah, but back to Nigeria, I hope that they understand that, there are certain people don't mean them any good most of the time, because they want the resource. Nigeria has one of the biggest oil deposits in the world. Uh, Burkina Faso, they got gold, diamonds and all of that, just a whole host of things, a wealth of stuff that's going on in Mali. And they are taking control of it, and they're kicking out people like France and all of that. And they are arming themselves as a military force to protect their people, not in the ways that they have done it in the past. Somebody come there and they give them all these loans that they can't pay back, and the interest on them is some kind of ridiculous. sign this, and we're gonna be all right. Yeah, and you never pay the interest on it, so they say, okay, we'll pay our debts off at one time, and you out, get out.
Does that sound familiar, Jerry?
Oh,
Same thing
yeah.
they're doing, what been doing for black folks in this country the same way. Where they keep you in debt. I can remember, like the sharecroppers and stuff like that, and how their land was taken from them to get them into debt and loan them money, and then they have to trade at the white man's store, and at the end of the season they end up losing their my great grandfather. Had 40 acres of land that his daddy had willed to him, and he died of a certain heart attack, Jerry, and at 42 years old. And so, and my daddy and his mama, which was my grandmama, they could not get the crop in. They lost 40 acres of land over a $400 debt, Jerry.
Yeah.
Which it should be unlawful that the way they did these folks. But anyway, continue. But I just wanted to throw that in as a point of interest of how that system works. And now they're doing it on an international basis.
And not only they, they did it to us, but white people in America, white farmers now are getting the same treatment that we got. The property they're taking from us, the rich mega farmers are taking from them now, like and J.D. Vance, the vice president, is involved in it. They got this investment thing going on. They just buying up these people property away from them.
Oh, you know what they say? They did this, and I said nothing. They did that, I said nothing. And they did this again, and I said nothing. And when they came for me, wasn't nobody there for me because I said nothing. Yeah, something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, you're talking about the Mullen. What was his name? Mullins. I forgot his name, but when he was in Germany. He said, they came from the trade union. I ain't say nothing. I wasn't a trade union. So they came for everybody else, and when they came for me, there was nobody to speak for me because I didn't speak for anybody else.
Right.
So that's the crust of it. But if we're not careful, and the Nigerian people and people of Africa, period, not careful, you can end up on a dictatorial colonization again, where they split up the country, because the young people want a united Africa. They want a United States of Africa. They want one president to be the president of the country. They want Senate and House, and just a whole host of things set up that on in the same manner, somewhat, of America and other countries, but they don't want the total system that we have. We got one of the worst systems in the world because we got an electoral college. Now, where people directly elect their people, the representatives, the president of the United States, from the representative side, from the congressional side, yeah, but from the presidency, you got to have an electoral college, which was a compromise, during slavery. And so all of these things goes all the way back to slavery, colonization, colonize minds, colonize everything. So unfortunate, unfortunate history is not studied in this country enough, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we are the one have a tendency to ignore history because sometimes it don't jive with what we think it ought
Well,
to be.
you know what they say in history? If you fail to know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. But Jerry,
Yeah.
before we get out of here, let's talk about they're taking the plaques off of all
Oh
those
yeah.
black soldiers that died in those foreign lands over there. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah, they've been doing it for a while now. It goes back some months when the Trump administration decided that the black soldiers don't deserve that honor over there, you know. And not only they are not honoring them over there, they are removing people who are black soldiers, black women who have fought for this country, who have moved up the ladder of success by the hard work that they put in, the struggles they've been through, and all of that. So they are not just doing it there with the plaques; they are doing it with live people here in the United States. But yeah, they are doing it. Those people should be honored there. They should have those plaques so people will know that we were the one that helped got them these planes into Germany. Our Tuskegee Airmen and others who were great flyers, the best in the world. Um, I got the bombers into Germany to help free millions of people over there from tyranny and being burned in ovens and all of that. Our people done that, black people. Others could, and we never lost a bomber going into Germany because of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen, a lot of them got killed getting those bombers in there, but they didn't never lose a bomber going in there. So the bombers made it to them because they were flying planes in ways that they had never seen before because they were using what they call acrobatic turns to defy being shot down or bombed or something of that nature. So the Tuskegee Airmen were some of the best flyers the world had ever seen. And and to this day, they shut that down because they knew that if we continued on the trajectory that these Tuskegee Airmen was on at that time, we were going to be the best flyers in everything. We always been the best at it because we always had to be creative, inventive to make sure things work the way we want it to work, and that we do it better than anybody ever did it. And so, whenever we get involved in something, the game changes because we make it so much better. So we do it so well that nobody could do it any better. So that's the history of Black people. Um, but even in France, when they was honoring Black men over there for their valor in fighting and ability to maneuver through certain lines of fire. The French was given the what was that called? The French cross? I don't forget what it's called, but they were honoring they were honoring the Black men, Black soldiers there. But they came back to America and couldn't even get a Purple Heart. Some just got Purple Hearts during the Obama administration after have fought for many years over there in the theater in Europe and other places, and coming in from Africa and other places in the world that we fought in, but the only reason they ever won was because of us. And that was like during the Civil War. The North was losing out their butt until they brought us in.
Absolutely.
We changed the trajectory of the country and the world when you think about it. But it's just like in Haiti. Haiti didn't have the weapons that others had, but they beat the hell out of everybody that came in there. Because we were creative. We weren't walking straight into no fire, We just everybody got their guns pointed at each other, we're gonna see who's gonna last the longest who next.
Yeah.
No, we were doing guerrilla warfare way before they talked about guerrilla warfare. Those tactics we used, we ain't walking at them, hide behind a tree and shoot at you. We ain't gonna stand up there and wide open and shoot at somebody. So those tactics. But we have caused this country to be free and other countries around the world to be free.
Yeah.
And it's because of our ingenuity, our ability to outthink, to outmaneuver certain individuals that helped, that helped save America and helped save Europe and other places. But we were never, after all that, we were never protected in the country. We were never given the rights that we deserved in this country.
Yeah.
And still people trying to erase that history. And that's all that's about. That's all that's about, erasure of history. And that's what they're doing. And they're trying to do it here. But the thing about it is a whole lot of us got books.
Hey, Jerry, what my junior high school principal used to say? Education is a dangerous thing.
It's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a dangerous thing. So when you learn, yeah. But Jerry, our time is up for today. But you'll be back on. No, you won't be back on Thursday because it's New Year's Day. We'll be back next. No, we won't even be back next Tuesday, Jerry, because I got a doctor's appointment that I got to be at 8:00 in the morning, and so I'm not gonna do the show. I don't have. I'm not like Healy. I don't have a backup. I'm not going to do the show on Tuesday, next Tuesday, but we'll come back the following Tuesday. But we'll be back on Monday. We'll be back on Monday. We'll be back on this Friday. But your regular time is every Tuesdays and every Thursday, and we're gonna probably have Derek on with you on Thursday, so we can talk about the local political issues and so forth. Okay. So,
and if Jill too, if she want to come,
yeah, absolutely. I want to get Jill on what I call our Okaloosa report to bring her on. Give her a time slot to give us our Okaloosa report, and then Christina for the Santa Rosa report. Yeah. So don't let me forget to make that happen, so we can be interactive here on this show, because this is information station.
All right then.
All right.
One last thing. Fred Douglass said, once you're educated, you can't be a slave.
That is so true. That is so true, Jerry.
Never be a slave again.
You never be a slave again. All right, y'all. My time is up, folks. I appreciate you for tuning in with us. You tune in again next week. Okay, tomorrow. We're going to be off tomorrow. We're going to be off Thursday, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but we'll be back on Friday morning and then next week. And we'll see you then, okay? Don't forget, Omar said, I love you with a perfect love. And as George Wallace said, there ain't nothing you can do about it. We'll see you next time.
All right, then.
All right, dear. Bye-bye.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now, come on now, get up for Mornings with Vernon. Get up now, let's go. Get up now, turn it up now. 1, 2, 3, let's get it now. It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now, come on now, get up for Mornings with Vernon.